map. But yeah, it's what we expected though in terms of the comp. It's very, very suitable for this map, and they're actually going to start off with quite a bit of pressure towards that B side.
Yeah, with this composition for Ghost Gaming, a lot reliant on Kawalanu, but performed so well in towards map number 1. You already see that aggression coming down from him. He'll walk up through the tube rendezvous to get out, but this is expected. 100 Thieves holding heavily the space in mid. Koala could be in trouble, but with a rendezvous and a quick shot with the headhunter, he should be out scot-free.
Spike down mid.
Oh, but Koala knew it. Proto. There you go. Snacking up to 3. 100T. Very close to at least sucking away one of those players away towards their spawn, but instead it has to be these last 2 players from 100T going into a free A site.
Yeah, but there's a trademark. This was the setup all along. Ghost wanted heavy presence in mid and B, play retake here, and the trademark should spot out Bang. This will call for the rotations, and I don't even know if this spike will be able to come on down. Actually, Util a bit too far away. They don't rotate as fast as I expected. So a post plant here, 2 mollies to work with, 1 from each agent, but the onus is on Bang here. He wants to take an early fight.
Kind of has to make the odds just a bit better for his team, but look at this from Ghost. Not a single player actually heading out towards that mid position. Could be considered a bit easier of a battle to try to take on if you are Bang, or if you're really anyone in the middle of that site. Bang essentially gets isolated in a 1vx. That waterfall takes him down. A Proto takes down Stellar 2. Ghost is going to be able to take down the first.
Beautiful setup there from Ghost Gaming. Aggression in towards mid. Great work out of Kawalanu. Support flash comes through from Nismo, so no one is able to trade him on out, and just gets away. Puts his team on a great course. I love to see on Pisteron a little bit more kind of gambly aggression, especially when you're playing with a comp like this, where you do have that cringe get out of jail free card that the Chamber brings to the table, and works well for Ghost Gaming in that one. Pistol rounds continuing to look pretty solid over for Ghost. This 100 Thieves will just look to go fast towards B, hoping to get the spike down in this one.
It's going to be 2 players. Pretty close here. Kawalanu does, of course, have that Headhunter alongside a Ghost to work with. His teammates should be able to take down that recon bolt real quick, but this is not exactly the best of positions for this Headhunter. Could be able to find maybe 1 or 2, though, out of this, but the classic uppercuts Kawalanu.
And the wall will block things on off. There's a risk by placing that rendezvous. Most chambers will just leave the rendezvous behind the barrier, but in that one, he places it forward, so it can be heard. 100 Thieves expect it. Now they have both a man advantage and a spike plant. With a comp like this, post plants can be so potent no matter your guns.
Yeah, exactly that. No matter your guns, and it's classics all the way down the board. Brock is trying to at least find 1 or 2 to try to make their way in. Again, that's just probably the most important part. Just make sure that 100T aren't playing these crazy off-angle crossfires in the backup site. They pretty much have all of that control. It's okay as time goes by. Stellar's actually able to take down 2 from the very top rope. Nismo coming in, has to help out a bit. Again, it is still that 2v3, but no guns in the hands of 100T just yet, and Nismo just continuing to frag, even pulls out the sidearm to complete the frag. Nismo saving the day. 2 players survive for Ghost.
Great work by Nismo to close things on out, and I also want to give credit to Brock. They realized how heavy the setup for 100 Thieves is in playing that post plant, so he immediately shock darts close on the spike, breaks any killjoy utility that would have been there, and also deal some damage to the players in close. Still, I think for Ghost Gaming, trying to push a player on top of that box in B main and moving that rendezvous is a bit of a risk that obviously didn't work out for them. Still, they will just be sticking to the bonus round. The 3 Spectres kept on over. Couple pistols. 100 Thieves looking good. They've spotted B as a weak point, but Ghost have changed it up. 3 players now stationed on this site.
Yeah, for good reason, though. It's still just the SMGs and the pistols that Ghosts are trying to save up, or at least trying to make the most mileage out of. Nismo in the front line, almost able to get 1, but Derek actually swinging back in. Almost everyone from 100T trying to fight this B main approach, except for potentially 1, of course, that being the spike carry all the way over on A. 3 players for Ghost at the very beginning of the round over in B main, now only 2.
Aggression coming out of Brock, though. He wants to walk up in towards main. Asuna and Bang should be holding for this one, but this position in jail could be a little bit spicy. It's a tough angle to clear. Ponytail was spotted, but the trail of Brock's cape was as well, so Silver falls on back. 4 players over towards this A site, and 100 Thieves will look to walk into it.
But Ghost's rotation is perfect, but or not. 100T, they didn't even get information in the back of A. This is just a very spiritual take, or a very almost Nostradamus-like rotation.
Before they go on in.
Yeah.
You know, just fully invested in that one, I suppose. B-side will be open for the taking here, so maybe 100 Thieves getting the better out of that one. Wall comes on down, Asuna will plant, and in comes the mollies and the lineups to play towards this post. A little bit less utility than maybe you'd like, because Will already used that nade, but still, 4 mollies across Stellar and Bang make this retake almost impossible. Ghost Gaming will just look to do as much damage as they can.
And a couple exits here. So pivotal for them. Again, you just look at the economy for 100T. They haven't won a single round just yet. Still very fragile. Any of these guns that Ghost can take away from them. Oh, consider that a +4 for them going forward. But it's not going to happen. Noob does not take down Bang over towards that mid side, and the crossfire is good to prevent pretty much every kill there except for Will. Ismo now. Last round remaining. 1v4. Spike going to go away. He's going to try to at least throw himself out, even though he already has the ult point. So, anything is just for the cash. 2-1.
My question comes down to how these teams want to play in the mid control. For 100 Thieves, they have a lot of resources to just play containment and not necessarily have to contest. But for Ghost Gaming, with a comp like this, with the Chamber and with the KO, they're incentivized to hold space there. If you can get an operator posted on that angle under tube or in front of that Viper orb, you can hold the cross in towards the late round. And that's great against a team like 100 Thieves that loves playing their defaults, loves swinging things back and forth in the late round. Even with a composition like this that's reliant on getting the spike plant down, they rarely fully force a spike down and put themselves in disadvantageous positions. Instead, they tend to play patient. So that's a space I'm watching in this round as Noob's off will instead be over towards the B site and will be spotted out by the drone.
Ooh, spotted even more. Recon Bolt's gonna go out. Ends up using that rendezvous. Getting out of there, and like you said, Mimi, 100T. Very much setting up for the long run. They're actually gonna put up a lockdown here on B as a fake.
Yeah, it's just a fake. How many players will bite off this one? Because look, a drone's coming back through mid. That doesn't spawn anyone out. And that'll be the call for the rotation off. The lockdown actually goes deep enough that no one can hold the deep angle in A. And while Will is out, holding close on site, his life doesn't really matter here. His only priority is buying time, and he does for at least a few seconds. Spike can come down on it.
No, perfect. He did his job. Of course, he would have wanted 1 or 2 kills out of that. But the entire time that 100T needed to actually rotate their way over, did exactly that. So here we go. 4 on 3. Not too much utility to look at in terms of this retake here for Ghost, but you have to watch out for 100T. They do have a shock. They do have double mollies to utilize. Suppressed right now. Asuna just can't make his way out. Just can't do anything. But this is such a pivotal position. This wall, nobody's going to check right in front of them, are they? No, they're not. Asuna's able to get 1, but he's spotted 2. Brock's still taking 1 back onto Bang, and it's a 1v3 for Derek. He does have the angle, but so does everyone else. The defuse will go down for Ghost for a 3rd.
Really excellent retake there out of Ghost Gaming. 100 Thieves thus far have managed to get the spike plant down every single one of these rounds, and they've won 3 out of 4 of them. Excellent work on the retake, and a big part of that is how proactive they've been in the early round. They know 100 Thieves is a team that likes to default a little bit. They're drawing out as much utility as possible in that one and putting themselves in these positions where they can just spam on down, have enough util on their side saved on up, and play well in for these retakes. The read that there'd be a player up towards the 2nd story, and even if they didn't quite take him down initially, killing Asuna there before there's time to fully spam down that wall forces players to swing on forward. Also, losing Stellar early, you lack out on 2 of your mollies, a couple critical kills there, and suddenly Ghost Gaming is in a great position, and well, the position in this round is aggressive. Wall boost up for Noob. Spot space early towards A main. They realize it's unlikely to be a play in this direction, so invest rotations over towards the B side.
Yeah, look how fast this rotation is. 4 players are going to be in the middle of this B side by the time 100T make their way on. The Recon Bolt might help a little bit, but nobody's actually getting spotted by it. The side is going to be free for them to actually get this plant, but is it going to be a high value plant?
I love this orb. Spike denial is the goal here on the wide angle. Plant will be committed, and spam will not quite get damage done onto Asuna, but spike plant is down, and while Asuna dies, the characters with the good post-plant utility, those agents in Stellar, Derek, Will, and Bang are still alive.
Oh, Nismo! The knife could be so big. Could it deny potentially a Viper, a snake bite or 2? And indeed it does! It suppressed absolutely everyone in that back line! Now they have to approach. Now they have to fight. Take down these players before they can get that utility back. Stellar does take down Noob though, and Stellar just keeps going. This could just be the hold they need, and indeed it happens! They have enough time to throw out their snake bites, and 3 kills come in from Stellar at the same time. The Viper's Pit biting away so much damage. Bang on the front line, trying to find John QT, but the spike is not down to half. Oh, 100T. 1 or 2 seconds there, 1 or 2 interactions don't go their way. Could easily go to Ghost, but they fight tooth and nail for a second.
See, it looks really scary there, and it does that. That knife coming on through provides a lot of value in delaying that utility. But the thing is, these post plants for 100 Thieves, they just have players who are just dedicated to being the sacrifice. And usually, in order of importance, it's Asuna, then Will, then Derek. Just as long as Bang and Stellar are alive in these late rounds, they will win rounds just off that clock being ticked on down. That's exactly what happened there. Asuna dies off the rip. It's a 5v4, but they have a Viper's Pit up. That stalls more time. They lose another player. Still Viper's Pit, still stall, and it's the utility that wins it in the end there for 100 Thieves. Those layers are really tough to break.
A little sad. Not at this point. 100T are dealing with a bit of pressure back over towards that A main area, but they have dissipated it quite a bit. Ghost backing up towards the back of their own site. Gonna have to be at least immediate action to try to stop this push back over in short. That wall actually being quite the pain in the side of Ghost right now, because again, it is just pistols. They're barely able to break it down. Range is able to go down without a single casualty, though. You have Will on the front side, potentially able to farm up a couple of frags. That owl drone actually pretty big. They can actually burst out of the wall if they absolutely wanted to, but they're not going to be able to do so. Koala Noob, the only person with a rifle here, could make a bit of an impact. But we actually just need to have the approaches. We actually need to have some open space for this team. What is this wall here? It's perfect for the gap, or it's perfect, at least for a little cubby for that defuse, but it's just not going to happen for the round. Finally, the kills goes in, but Koala and Proto get some trades back, 3-3.
Really nice late round flank from Bang. Thus far, 100 Thieves have conditioned Ghost that there isn't going to be flanks in the late round. That's just a committal in towards playing this post plant. And this one, he works the space there on the anti-eco, and in a big way might have saved the round. That player stays alive. Spike was already halved. You hold things down. Molly misses. Some little thing goes wrong, and things could have gotten pretty bad for 100 Thieves, but they don't in this one. Ghost Gaming will have the money back in their favor, and they have a Viper's Pit to use early here, as well as that operator for Koala Noob. He's playing the same position as his Viper right now, so I'd imagine this is a close pit. He can either hold the angle above, or it appears just elect to play back, make sure no one gets tricky up top that rope.
He's going to hold that angle for the rope, like you said, but he is going to be Will bursting through that rendezvous. Does save him for a second there, but a Proto, he's the one that has to hold it down. He's the one that has to keep his Viper's Pit alive. He is able to take down one in terms of Asuna, but the rest doesn't happen. Brock actually early on pulling out his Hunter's Fury. He's not able to catch absolutely anything.
You should run.
Yeah, but look at this flank already coming through. Ghost has found a lot of space, and there's nothing watching this. The turret is
Such a deep
deactivated.
lockdown.
Players too far away. The lockdown will go. Now Ghost's priority is just to keep 100 Thieves preoccupied. Keep them focused on the fight for the front site, and that job has been done well. A player detained, but the flank's still coming through, and Bang's making noise. He's not looking, and he'll die to John.
There goes that one kill from John. Do they have any idea that a second is here? Nismo up top, looking for an angle on the Stellar, but Stellar is just going to be waiting for potentially a cross back. Oh, the barrel spotted, and Nismo takes him down. Only 2 players remaining, and they're getting sandwiched. Players from Ghost coming in from every single angle possible, and it's going to work out for all the pressure in the world. John QT takes down 3 off the flank, and it's going to give Ghost a 4th.
The trend has continued. Every single round, 100 Thieves is getting this spike down, but it's different than usual. Ghost Gaming has found consistent success in playing this retake, and the flank in that one, a big part of it. Finding space on the back line, catching an off timing for Bang, denying that utility before it can find value. Wins them out on the round. A bold call by 100 Thieves. Showstopper straight on through. Try and punish the player in the pit initially. Works so well for them, but still, tried and true, getting that plant down. Not finding full success in this one.
Back to it now. 100T. They're going to have their guns back going into the next. We've seen such overwhelming pressure from Ghost off of retakes so far. It's actually been kind of funny that 100T, they've been able to have actually pretty easy access to the sites that they've actually been able to get plants for. But Ghost's retakes have been so good so far. You could at least put that on a couple of players. Of course, Nismo and Koala Noob have actually been pretty good off those retakes, but overall util for this team has been so good in those situations.
Yeah, and a lot of that is Nismo and Brock pushing players back, buying that time. The Thieves won't be able to buy in this one, though. Just the lesser weapons to work with, and no big ults to change the tide of this round. I hope to maybe get that spike plant down, win off your utility, but even that has proven to be troublesome. Ghost Gaming continues to show different setups on this defense. They're very variable in where they position this operator for Koala. Sometimes it's towards B main, sometimes it's up top on A, giving him that freedom. Got a lot of value in these opening kills.
So it's actually the eco here. Half buy from 100C. Actually, thus meaning now that we're seeing this this default, these types of guns, these actually beg to differ what their goal actually is, because they're not getting any sort of progress back over towards that mid side, where potentially those pistols could make some more damage. Back over in B, no matter what they tried, they're not able to get anything. It was just about the presence. See if they could potentially get a fake, pull a rotation or two. It's gonna end up here on A.
Ghost Gaming was worried about the play towards mid. They run it out. Now they know it's over towards A, and John starts things right.
It's going to be John with the first. John continuing, actually. It's only that one other player back over towards elbow. Now, point your eyes over towards a Proto. Proto, a massive opportunity for 1, 2, or 3. His Viper's Pit is all the way down to 0 in terms of the ult points, but he could actually make some pretty decent progress to it. Indeed he does. He's only able to get 2 out of that, but Brock gets the last. A Prime Gaming flawless to give Ghost a 5th.
Great work out of Ghost Gaming. The position
they were gaming
on these, yeah, they were gaming. Very true, very true, Gus. The orb positioning for a Proto, I really like the switch ups he's making. He's really committed to setting these orbs up just for anti-plant to make that chip damage all the better. You'll see it sometimes over towards B on that position that's the default plant for 100 Thieves, sometimes over on A in the position you see it now. Well, that not only denies entry in towards the site, it makes it all the more difficult to try and stick that plant or disrespect the setup, which 100 Thieves doesn't do a lot, but they don't even really have the opportunity in this one. Koala, though, he's so deep. He can push forward off the knife, has information from it, and he'll grab the frag onto Derek.
That's only the one he needs. Now Nismo on the front side. Ooh, he's gonna get caught by the alarm bomb, but he just wanted the frag. Will was fully flashed. The fact that he gets that kill into Nismo is a miracle. Only one person left here on B. Ghost putting a lot of chips on the fact that it might be A.
4 players there. But they have Koala Noob in this critical angle. Know if a cross is coming either way, and now that turret broken. It's pressure on 100 Thieves to keep the player containing that space. Koala will re-rotate back. Rectangle here. If he can just get one, get out, the retake is so doable.
Koala Noob, such a difficult position, but again, he's playing for his rendezvous. It's such a good off angle, but Will with the satchel doesn't get caught whatsoever. That wall will be good for the plant. No post-plant util, though, at least so far. I'm sure Stellar could come back and try to help out, but he is in quite the important position back over in mid. A Proto looking around the corner, and Stellar is going to have no effect on the later parts of this round.
Yeah, but still, time is an issue. Double shock darts. Double molly's available for Bang. He'll use his first one already.
He's still quite slow. You still have this wall in front of them. They're just throwing out whatever util they can to actually be able to burst out from that yellow box. But again, so much time being crunched off the clock. 100T, they have no angle, though. They have no one in yellow box. They need to burst through this wall, and it's gonna work. Knock down the walls and knock down all the pins. 100T, they take a round.
Will has been so proactive in these post plants, and so many of the rounds just proving himself as a sacrifice in that one. Doing it all to keep things going. Wall plays don't tend to be so effective against 100 Thieves. It's just always going to have that one player holding back. Satchel goes through, spam is off that. 100 Thieves, well, they're dedicated to playing the post off this utility. They're never afraid to fight, and having kind of both those options, depending on how much time is left, is what makes them so good in those situations. Still, Ghost Gaming, plenty left to spare, and a push up over towards A, 3 players strong.
This is a lot of info, but I don't know what they're actually going to be able to do with this info. It's only that one player watching back over towards that mid side. It has to be Koala Noob. That needs to be Shifty. He just randomly lost a shot behind the wall, and it just works. He was trying to track the footsteps, if I'm not mistaken, but Nismo over towards the mid side does at least take down one. Ghost now. They find themselves in the 5v3 already.
They do a missed shot by Koala, so Spike will be able to make its way on down. Bar the shock darts, finding something. It's Stellar. Instead, he finds Valorant and knows that the round is on him. He'll push deeper, walk past danger. If Opoto swings, this could get so weird, but he's holding his nerve. Not swinging forward just yet. Now we'll take the duel, but it's only
Great
one.
trade.
Derek on the trade back. It started so strong for Ghost, and now a 2v2 in the post.
Oh, we are going to see a revive, though. There's one in the middle of this site. It's going to be Brock and lift it up. And not only that, okay, the recon bolt, too. A massive piece of util to get back into the site. They even had a flash to use, too. How are they going to utilize it? Nismo getting revealed at the moment. Derek, a massive peek, but he's only able to get 2. This angle from Asuna could be so big. Does he find the diffuser? No, he won't. And the diffuse will go down to the very end, but it's going to be the defuse from Brock.
6-4 now, Ghost Gaming continuing to get these post plants done. In this one, it was them taking advantage of those flanks. Thus far, Ghost Gaming, well, they've had a few rounds where they're committing in towards those flank plays. Generally, they're just playing hard retake on their spawn side. With a walk up through A main, it was always happening. With that op shot connecting, there's an expectation from 100 Thieves that there'll be more pressure on that B site. They just look to continue in that direction, and flank is so punishing. Big ults here, though. Stellar has the lockdown. Generally, you'll see them just go B all the time. Unless you have a lockdown, then you can go A and take that space.
Nade alongside the shock dart. Being sure that all-important ult orb with only 2 rounds remaining gets pressured out. Doesn't exactly equate into a frag, though, but look at this position from Nismo. The owl drone's gonna go around. It's not gonna spot him. Will might have been able to spot him, though. Maybe through the radar, but it's not gonna happen. Nismo can now just play whack-a-mole here, but is it actually Asuna gonna be able to pop up? No, yeah, he wants to play with him. Nismo still aiming for a shot or 2, and Derek, that jump up was actually a really good idea. Splitting the angle with Asuna. At least splitting the attention of Nismo, and the lockdown's gonna be able to go out, and it's gonna be pretty much a free A site.
Mid flank is coming through here. A player walks up. That's bang. I don't know if he has utility to block off that armbot, and he doesn't. So we forced to fall away, but that Hunter's Fury is perfection. Goes for the gap behind the lockdown, but Brock is still alive despite it all. Pushes forward, finds a double. Spike is on the ground. A Proto is flanking. This round might just be over because it's Derek left at the clutch, and well, he'll find the first.
Oh, Molly's, Hunter's Furies, shock darts. What more do you need to take him down, Brock? Again, in such a pivotal situation. Such a pivotal position. It's essentially the catalyst that puts his team in this 2-man advantage here. Derek, dancing on top, is able to find at least one in terms of bodies, in terms of information, but definitely not the frag. Gianni's still alive, and Gianni's gonna get the kill. 7-4. Ghost looking for a big half.
Last round in the half.
Big one indeed here. I believe that's the first round all game that we actually got denial of the spike. Every other round but that one. Spike comes down, gets planted for 100 Thieves, but Ghost change that up. 2 rounds, 1 in a row. They'll take the timeout. They know the difference between 8-4, 7-5. Very big in this game.
I mean, what a game so far, at least from Ghost. I feel as if most of the holes from them have been quite straightforward. So let's talk about 100T real quick. We were talking about the conditioning for them early on in the half, how they were barely touching around mid, but still very much having a presence. Mimi, what happened to that? 100T, they've completely abandoned it.
I mean, they're still putting that turret there. That's generally just kind of always going to be there. Stellar posts that up. Not too much walk-up coming through, but it's always a big risk to actually try and commit in towards that space. You saw that previous round, Bang went for a lurk, but there was still a trademark in position towards the kitchen. You see pings coming out there, so maybe they'll try and change that round with the changes to IceBox, and with a comp like this, double satchel your raise up over, you can find a lot of value from these splits in towards B, and the pings, imagine that's actually what they're going to go for in this one. Ghost Gaming doesn't tend to position a lot of players there, but they've had good reads. Just in the previous round, they realized it was going to be a hit towards A, provide aggression in that area, win the round off of it.
See what Ghosts are actually thinking about this round, though, because I don't think we're going to get too much of that B main aggression, potentially. Definitely a bit of a lineup, though, early on, and that might actually help for that quote-unquote peak. It's going to be Nismo alongside Koala Noob on that front side. They are able to actually detect, too. That's a big detection.
Well, that's a showstopper. I feel like that's going to be the linchpin in this round. How much value you can find, how much space you can create off of it. Bang one away. That fight was built, but this Hunter's Fury. Oh, it's perfect.
Wow.
They know they're in main. It is a death trap. Brock
again.
shuts down 2. The op was there on the other side. And even insult to injury, these two players locked out. The spike's still in their possession, but they're just going to be walking into a Viper's pit.
I mean, Ghost just win. it's just a Hunter's Fury does it. Just well placed again. You had that knife come out, get that information over in B main, but it was so long after that where we actually got the Hunter's Fury. Just good positioning there from Ghost back over in B main, making sure that 100T could take up as much control as possible without Ghost needing to fight. And it's going to work out for a Prime Gaming Flawless to finish up the half. Ghost looking so good to go into the second half. Let's see how they finish things up as we look through the Prime Gaming Flawless.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. Flawless.
A tough half for 100 Thieves, but a defensive side in which they can look to rally. Normally stoic in their post plans, Ghost Gaming proved adept in the retakes and find themselves just a few rounds away from the better seed.
100 Thieves, they're going to start off potentially with a bit of aggression back over towards B main, and that's exactly where Ghost is going.
Yeah, that it is. Being set up here, Stellar will just look to place that Molly under tube, deny any aggression in that area, but aggression instead is coming over towards main, drone out. Thieves will concede on back, but they have the raise to deny plant. If that nade can go on in, if a wall from Austin could go on in, they can buy time for the rest of the team to rotate. And instead of rotating, they're actually re-pushing in mid. Koala has to contain this, and he just can't.
Somehow that combo mid actually works out for the frag. Derek in one fell swoop takes down Koala Noob. You still have Will around the corner. Such a cheeky little spot for Will too! But an even better little elevator there for Brock as he takes down Will from above. That flash is even better though. Nismo looking for a 50-50 against Asuna, and indeed it works. And he's able to take down another one in terms of Stellar. A Proto back over in mid. Spots Bang, but not able to get a couple of bullets in. Bang could easily get flanked on in just a couple of seconds here, and he has no clue. He's trying to get into a firing range type position. But, a Proto comes up from behind, but Bang calls him out completely. The knife hits Bang right into his chest, but he's just fine. Still 92 HP to work with. Uh-oh, no. He has to break through the wall to actually get through. A little bit awkward here, but he still has one of his snake bites to work with, but it's not exactly beneficial. He has a Sova behind him. He has another person in front of him. Nismo barely peeking out, but is able to get the frag. 9-4.
What a great round there by Ghost Gaming. They initially lose a player in towards mid, but the quick hit out on sight, the aggression forward from Nismo was all lovely. But the thing I'm looking towards is the play that they had in mid. You saw Proto tucked back in that area, just looking to hold down the flank there with the help of the trademark positioned outside A. I believe he even had a Molly lineup from that position in mid, similar to the lineups that EG were using when they planted up top. But from that position, you can toss out your snake bites, buy a little bit of time, and then flank in the very late round.
Going forward, we are going to have more presence from Ghost, potentially trying to shut down some of those flanks, or at least potential presence back over in B main alongside a lot of early util back over in A main, but it's actually just quite the opposite. It's just an early fake setup.
Here. Deploying drone.
Ghost Gaming.
Bang's going to hear that.
Yeah. They're aware that this is more likely to be a heavier setup over towards CA site, and they'll just drone over towards B. Viper wall, this should all be pretty simple to win things on out. They're being very thorough in the angles they do clear, but in doing so, they have given time for 100 Thieves to start to rotate on over. No matter the weapons, a race nade can still find a lot of value into delaying that plant or finding frags on a player stuck in close.
Ooh, great snake bite too.
Feeling area.
Leaves not so much space for this team to actually get this plant down. Very good wall to pressure up from Nismo alongside the shock darts. Into the top is working out for a bit of damage, but finally the Spectres are making the difference in this round. Only one person remaining. Asuna looking to peek out, potentially get one. Probably only one. Still stuck with a classic, but a Proto from behind. 4 kills from a Proto. You gotta look at his ult points.
Yeah, I'm wondering now if that's a pivot for how Ghost play this next round. Play forward, either get a Proto to plant things on down, grab an orb.
Such a big
Spectres
win
can be
condition.
so good if you get yourself in towards a post plant with that Viper's Pit. Might just be the idea. They're looking to lean heavily over towards A. The hope is to get themselves in towards a post-plant position, but the 100 Thieves setup will be good to delay. They show a lot of looks with this Killjoy on the defensive side. Sometimes it's playing over towards mid, holding down the fort for a kitchen walk-up or anyone trying to get sneaky under tube, and sometimes it's a bit of a more forward setup. In this one, it's a turret that can contact and support Will as well as Molly's to buy space for the team.
Will's just going to back up all the way back over towards mid, so Stellar, he's the only one that has to depend on, of course, that utility. Not even going to get utilized, though. He does run away. Full sight take is going to happen here for Ghost. Well, it does take down one, though. Again, we are still looking at SMGs alongside the Ghost for this team. The long-range interactions aren't going to go great for them, and the shock darts just rain in. It doesn't matter what they're trying to do in terms of that plant. They have the right util to deny it. Still just about a minute left, but Ghosts are already down to 3.
And at this point, I don't think they even want to use that Viper's Pit. Nothing committed off of it. Dart goes in deep. Nismo wants a fight here. He has a pop flash to go through the wall, but Stellar was ready for it. Shuts down. The trade is good, but somehow Brock still finds that kill. Bang! On a trade back, though, and he keeps the round all nice and in good shape for him.
That's what you expected again, but Ghost. Now they are going to get that full Viper's Pit out and ready for this next round. But the opposite here for 100T. They don't have it, but they actually are only 1 ult point away from it too. If Bang does actually want to contest and try to get that ult point early, could potentially try to cover off one of these mains, but it's not going to happen. He's going to be quite far away to actually fight over Furby. So now it's just Ghost all the way back over in A.
Really slow orb off the rip to deny aggression up top, but slow orb goes the other way. I was thinking that maybe that was a play to slow up top and then Sage Wall boost fight forward, but nothing more happens off of it.
It's an interesting idea, but it seemed like they still wanted that control, at least on top of the ult orb. Here comes the actual approach. You see a wall go up over in short. Owl Drone was able to catch at least 2 there for 100T, but this wall here, this is just separating the space that 100T have complete control of. Same thing with Ghost, and it's going to converge in just a little bit. It's 50-50 on top of 50-50. Or Ghost actually going to look to pop through this wall. It's such a volatile wall.
Oh, that forward for Derek. He'll swing off of it. Reveals 3, takes 1.
Ah, that is such a good shot, or excuse me, recon bolt there from Derek. And he ends up swinging out with it, but a Proto! Was that a spray transfer? It doesn't even matter! He still keeps going, but he just dies to the molly! He could have backed up into the corner, he could have stayed alive, but instead, Brock forced now into a 1v2. Definitely helped out by those huge kills from a Proto. A little bit early on, but again, Brock, full control of the back of sight. He doesn't see anyone. It's purely because of 100T. They're wrapping back from the back of A main. Brock, 18 seconds left, 17 seconds left. He doesn't even have the option to rotate. He's just looking to fake. He's just looking to find anyone. Bang, is he actually going to peek this? With the spike not down, indeed he will. It's a 1v1 now. Stellar has no idea where this man is. Time is running out, but the plane will be able to go down, but Stellar has the angle. 6th round back for 100 Thieves. They are back in this game.
Very calculated bait there by Stellar. There's a high risk if he just swings to trade his teammate. If he just stops, waits, then that starts to put so many questions into the head of Brock. And, well, the answers didn't quite work out for him. He was worried about someone re-pushing from defensive spawn from a second flank, and the angle was just right to close on that. These rounds are massive for 100 Thieves at the deficit they currently find themselves. Just losing 1 or 2 gun rounds totally slips the balance away from you.
I mean, look at this. I mean, they're even left the Shorty in the hands of Qualinoob. Is Qualinoob playing Shorty full armor?
It's because he has the headhunter, so he'll just be able to use
Oh,
that
right,
as his primary weapon.
yep.
Shorty's his secondary.
Yeah,
I wish
that's
he was
gaming.
just using
That's
the Shorty. Be a little more fun. Ooh, similar Hunter's Fury setup to what we saw in the first half. This one will find quite a bit less value, though. I do want to talk about, we have this one, the anti-eco, about the performance that a Proto has found. If he doesn't die to the molly in that previous round, they probably win things on out. He was able to pick up 3, had the Viper's Pit to be able to hold on down, and so many of these rounds, specifically on the attacking side, the value that he's found has been great. It's not even in late round lurks, it's been in some really proactive plays to make it as close as it has been in these rounds for Ghost Gaming.
Ghost, they have finally approached your all 5. Again, with the low guns, with the low pistols. Do have that full control, though. Great shark dart.
They want to push deep. They put down this wall, flash on through, and Will's going to be isolated in that corner.
Nismo's going to be able to get a free one. What on earth was that shot from Nismo? Okay, buddy, that's going to be the plan there, but it's the hero rifle. It's called a hero rifle for a reason. Hunter's Fury already out. Brock looking for anyone in the back of Snowman, but not going to be able to find anyone. The revive does go in, but Asuna is able to find a lineup. Derek, though, the last one remaining in a 1v3, has so many angles to peek. That headshot was so good onto John, though. Does he find a Proto? A Proto shocks him, though, from around the corner. 3 kills from a Proto. 11 rounds for Ghost. I don't know why we don't see Thrifty at the top of our screen, but we absolutely should. It was the hero rifle that did the damage. But Ghost, they come out with highway robbery.
Dude, a Proto and Nismo, the value they're finding in these rounds is so big. They've conditioned that this team is one that will just commit in towards the early plant, looking for posted a similar style to 100 Thieves, but they do the extension. Wall deep, flash through their own wall, and, well, find so much off of it. 100 Thieves forced into the timeout off that loss.
Such an important timeout for 100 Thieves. I think potentially they could invest into this round because, again, still went out to 2. Relatively close round in the last. Man, oh man, this is now just uncharted territory. Ghost, a team that we just haven't seen play on IceBox so far this season. Or, excuse me, the way around. Oh, no, I was right. What am I saying? I am right. So Ghost,
right.
At least so far, from what we ended up seeing in the preseason, from the IceBox games that we ended up seeing in the preseason, Proto, he just didn't have the effect that we're looking at now.
It's a wild game for him.
It is. But again, a lot of his damage ended up coming out from that defensive side. And again, Viper here on IceBox just hasn't been that big of an effective agent, at least in the last few updates, in the last few months. But Proto has absolutely stepped up to the plate. 24 kills for him. Here we go into the next, folks. 100T. They indeed get to stick around with the shares with the pistols, and they're all the way over in B mostly.
Viper's still generally that primary controller, but certainly a lot more out of the Omens. And, well, in this one, Bang's going to try and find the pit. He'll pop down the ult, but they're hunting for him, just trying to spray through the Viper's pit itself. The shot dart's now more potent, and they connect. Ooh. Bang is down, and the plant soon to follow. Ghost Gaming have themselves a great post plant, and a Proto's just going to lock down the flank. He'll find 3. This man continues to stand up for Ghost Gaming as Derek. Oh, he's alone. 1v5 a Ghost. There's just no chance. A Prime Gaming flawless to take series point.
Not to take series point, to go into series point, but it does make that difference. This one last round here for 100T. They had pistols in the last. They're going to have their rifles. They're going to have a couple ultis to work with, too. That was a big round for Ghost to a Proto. Able to charge up that Viper's pit. Now 6 rounds separate Ghost and 100 Thieves. Can 100 Thieves salvage their #1 seed hopes?
Hopes on the line for him. 100 Thieves. We'll start to try and, again, play a little bit forward for Asuna. Same slow field, but same one, again, in reply. 100 Thieves just walked up deep in towards B main, though. That Roomba has been spotted, so Ghost Gaming is aware. Will could be close on this one. It's going to be very dangerous to re-clear this space. Drone comes through towards Amen. That doesn't spot the chamber, so now things get awkward. A bit of lurk-on-lurk action.
It's not going to get too awkward, though. Unless you actually do get that approach from 100 Thieves back over in B main. But this is big now. There's a man in kitchen looking for this cross, looking for this information. It's rare that we've even had presence back over in kitchen. And indeed, it's happening. Stellar. There goes his turret. And is he going to use a lockdown here?
It's a risk for sure. He has support of his teammate now, but I like the idea. But it's down below there. I don't think it can get wallbang from above, so they'll either force a fight forward, but Koalanoob this whole time, he had worked his way deep in towards A, and now with that lockdown pushing the team back, things get, again, very strange. The long pit is popped down. 2 players detained inside it. Asta has to make the tough decision of whether or not to fight this, but another flank on top of another flank. Will from behind takes Nismo, but still, the pit is active. It is a weird one to clear if you're 100 Thieves.
These are just such awkward positions. Asuna, he gets caught out. Finally, the plan going in. Bang's not going to be able to deny it, but he definitely sees it. Oh, what was that? The satchel knocks down Brock, and Bang, he gets a free one for him. Did Will kill his own teammates? Oh, my word. Koalanoob from below looking for the kill. And it's still just such an awkward position with such low HP in the middle of that site. But Bang sneaks out of the Viper's pit and takes down Qualanoob. Now a 1v1 between himself and a Proto. Again, Bang, this isn't his pit. He goes all the way down to 1 HP. He has to go to the second level to try to defuse. Surely a Proto has this. Surely the Molly should take him down. It's only 1 HP. Bang can't do anything. He has to look for a Proto, and it's not going to happen. Ghosts go 4-1 in the season with a massive win over 100 Thieves.
They knock 100 Thieves out of contention, meaning XSET claim the first seed in Group A. Ghost falling into second place. What a rally from this squad. From a team